Today we've got setups for Zcash and BNB, plus stick around till the end for a dot short setup that's in play right now. So stay right there. Hi, I'm Paul with ArcisFX. 3 altcoin setups for you this week. But first up, previous altcoin gem Jasmy, just from last week, hit our long target, giving us a nice 13% move on the back of this breakout of the ascending triangle. So congratulations if you traded that. But let's see what's set to play out this week. First up, we have ZEC, Zcash USDT 4-hour chart. Now, obviously, the context is that the market at the moment is pretty bearish and uncertain, with, as an example, the Fear and Greed Index quite firmly in the fear category at the moment. So when we see an asset which is bucking the trend, which ZEC has been doing, these are the sort of assets we want to be trading, the ones which are bucking the trend, the ones which are flying in the face of that fear and providing us with some potential bullish setup. So ZEC's price action has formed this ascending triangle with a nice double bottom on the RSI, providing also a little bit of hidden bullish divergence when paired with the price action. Now, ZEC has now broken above the 200 MA on this, the 4-hour chart, leaving the price action free to potentially break out of this pattern, which is essentially a move above $458 to give us a potential move all the way up maybe to this upper range at around $622. So you could look to front run the break by coming in flush with this lower support line, making sure, of course, you're on the right side of the 200 MA if you just want to get a slightly lower price point and have it a little bit more manageable in case the market does turn, or you can simply wait for the breakout and then look to enter on the retest of either the neckline at around 457, 458, or again, look to come back in on the retest of the 200 MA, which again will probably still be quite flush with this lower diagonal support of the triangle. So really nice setup with ZEC, little bit of hidden bullish divergence with a nice bullish pattern with probabilities in our favor, with also the price action confirming its intent by moving above the 4-hour 200 MA. So really nice setup for Zcash with potentially taking profits at around 625. We don't want to overextend ourselves too much at the moment until Bitcoin gives us something more to play with, but ZEC is looking pretty good right now.
Hi there, I'm James. I'm the founder of ArcisFX. I'd like to personally invite you to join our 24/7 trading group. This is built for traders who want an edge. Inside, you'll get access to live calls on Forex, commodities, crypto, energies, and metals, along with exclusive daily analysis designed to unlock your trading potential. And this in both traditional and now in digital markets. I'm talking Bitcoin, crypto, altcoins, and tethered currencies. You'll gain early access to insider news, real-time updates, real-time support, and premium educational content. If you want to sharpen your skills and boost your success rate, then join me and Paul in this community. This is a fast-growing community of traders who are now writing their own success stories. So don't wait. Join up now. Your edge starts right here.
And next up, we've got BNB Binance token, which is trying to find its feet following this markdown phase, which essentially was kicked off by this October liquidation event. So we have a lot of upside ahead. And like Zcash before us, BNB has been a top performer, entering price discovery again earlier this quarter. When there's not many options for people to trade in the market, they will always gravitate to the coins and tokens, which are essentially an opportunity to buy the dip for further continuation because they've been really bullish despite issues in the market the last few months. And this is, of course, how we get probabilities in our favor. Not just by looking at highly probable setups, by choosing assets which have demonstrated resilience in the face of Bitcoin being quite bearish and inhibiting macroeconomic elements, which we've been dealing with over the last few months. We originally had a double bottom straddling this pattern breakout, and now we have again another double bottom with a clearly defined high low right in this support range. And you can see scrolling back previous resistance, this is pretty good support. And you can see the price action is starting to curve round. And then we also have the 4-hour 200 MA quite flush with the neckline of the double bottom at present as well. So if we do see a break from here, we're not just going to be able to break out of this pattern and confirm the double bottom, we'll also be able to break above the 200 MA. And of course, when we do that, you see potentially what happens. Now, I don't think we should be expecting price moves like this at the moment because Bitcoin just isn't going to give BNB necessarily the room to continue up to the top of this range here, which is why our price target is a little bit modest at the moment, sitting at around 993, just below the significant psychological level of $1,000. So the play would be wait for a break of diagonal resistance and confirmation of the double bottom, which means essentially a break above 870, and then look to come in either on the flip side to confirm the double bottom neckline with potentially 200 MA confluence, or do what I'm planning, which is of course wait for that confirmation of the double bottom and then wait to come back in for a retest on the flip side of this diagonal resistance line, potentially giving us nice confluence whilst also maintaining a potential higher low here in this nice little pocket, which gives me a manageable entry, even if the bullish premise gets inhibited and ends up heading lower. Whereas looking to enter on the retest of the double bottom neckline, a very textbook sort of play, you will find yourself a little bit overextended and in the middle of the range when the rest of the market is quite bearish, and therefore you're adding a little bit of risk by doing that at the moment, because you need to look at the market and how it is, and it's not really in the right situation necessarily to be coming in for a bullish entry in a market which is not that bullish. And therefore, even though BNB is looking like it's setting up for a move, we do need to make sure we're in a manageable position. So wait for the confirmed break of the double bottom to confirm the reversal, but then let it come back down, retest this diagonal area, whilst also having nice confluence with the upper portion of this support area, which is essentially looking for an entrance around 830, 829, 828, depending on your preference. And then that would protect you potentially from any downside risk or the setup invalidating, giving you options to reposition. Now, the only issue is, of course, is if we do break out and confirm the double bottom and we do come all the way back down here, we may actually lose the 200 MA again like this. But once we've had a confirmed break, that is a bullish signal which other traders will see. And regardless of whether we lose it temporarily, there's usually a little bit of a dance, you'll see, before we continue upwards. That's the most important thing. The confirmation of the double bottom, confirmation of the initial break of the 200 MA, and then we look to come in on the flip side. But because the market is hesitant, we're always going to be looking to come in as close to support as we can to make sure we have a manageable entry. But that's BNB. But just a reminder, these setups are hand-picked coins and tokens with real trading potential based on technical analysis and probabilities, available on both centralized and decentralized exchanges. The altcoin market, of course, follows Bitcoin's direction, so don't miss context. Make sure you're subscribed to catch our latest Bitcoin update video for the full picture before you trade. We also have a new members-only Crypto Pulse series with Friday's release each week dedicated to checking in with Bitcoin and its most recent price action, which will hopefully act as a nice companion piece for this video. So be sure to check that out each week if you're not already a member. And finally, as promised, which is becoming a bit of a tradition at the end of these videos to have a short setup, we have DOT USDT 4-hour chart. Now, previously this was a long play which didn't get confirmed and the price action ended up rolling over, and we've now firmly continued on our way down. Now, we have this descending triangle which is now broken lower, signaling a continued move downwards from here. So you could look to enter on the retest of this pattern. Now that's actually happening at the moment as we have come back into the pattern. So this wouldn't be a bad place to short, but if you do want a little bit more confirmation, you may want to wait for a continued move lower down to maybe this fib level at around 1.59 and then look to enter on the retest just to make sure that it's not a fake out, because obviously shorting here with the 200 MA is a slightly safer play in terms of being a manageable entry if the market reverses. If you are thinking of entering this short below that point on the basis that this descendant channel has been confirmed, we still need to be in a manageable entry in case we head higher again. So essentially there's a potential short entry right now at around 1.722, but I would personally wait for a further move down and then let it come back up and then enter, just to clarify that it's not going to be some whipsaw action where it breaks lower then breaks higher. So that's what I would suggest. So I'll probably take a small position here, but what I am waiting for ultimately is a move back up to support to confirm the flip from support to resistance, the SR flip, and also to look to enter a short position flush with the 200 MA at around 1.9, essentially $2. So you could enter a small position here on the hopes that it will continue lower from here, which is quite probable, but I probably won't be entering the entirety of my intended position until we have a move back up here, because if Bitcoin does break through resistance and starts to turn a little bit more bullish, then DOT will reverse and come back up to here. But because DOT has broken down into this lower range now, I think the bearish slant isn't going to go away anytime soon, but we do want to make sure is that we're not entering a position, a short trade here in an unmanageable position. But that's DOT. But for more winning setups like these, please consider subscribing and also hit that like button and let us know in the comments what altcoins you're thinking of trading. We also have a private group which has many more setups like this posted throughout the week. But that's it for now. You can catch James on Sunday for his weekly stocks and commodities live stream. It's going to be pretty great. And of course, I'll be back on Tuesday with Bitcoin Update. Catch you then.